I'm kind of distraught. When RCB won the IPL, each one of us in our own little ways celebrated because the fans celebrated. It was for me about the fans. I'm not an IPL fan, and most of you who watch my broadcasts know it. For every IPL fan, every RCB fan who had waited for 18 years, I thought it was a wait worth it, and this was their moment. That is why I sent two of my reporters, Gargi Raut and Bharat Ramraj, who's in Bangalore, to cover the celebrations. It was all about festivity. It was all about positivity. It was all about what sport does. Sport unites. But thereafter, what happened in Bengaluru yesterday has left us all absolutely stunned, distraught, disappointed, hurt, upset, frustrated, and angry. At this point in time, I'm in the UK, so all my information is through my reporters. Around 9 p.m. India time, Gargi called me and she said, "Sir, I just went out of the stadium and there are still fans waiting for the players. 3 years back, the celebrations have gotten over." And she sent me visuals of chappals, of kids' chappals lying around, of shoes and slippers lying around in the streets. Carnage, mayhem, destruction, whatever you want to call it, the stampede. And here's the question. Around afternoon, and the moment the team bus landed and the RCB team landed, it was evident that there were too many people. In fact, around 11 a.m. England time, I was told that the victory parade had been cancelled. Police had cited logistical issues and the victory parade had been cancelled. In fact, I was about to do the story when I was told, no, don't do the story because they're trying to resurrect it. If you go to Revsportz, we had even tweeted it. Who resurrected it? Did the police actually cite issues and say that we cannot hold it? If they did, then who overruled the police? Who overruled the law enforcement agencies and decided that this parade, unplanned, had to go on? Is this a political act? We don't know. These are questions that one needs to ask thereafter. When that parade started, and here I'm kind of referring to a lot of information that has been shared with me by Bharat Ramraj and Gargi Raut. Bharat said to me that it had started raining, and literally, because the bus was going through the thoroughfare, and the crowd had been pushed to the footpath. So imagine all of a sudden the whole area has people, and you've pushed the entire crowd back on the footpath. The stadium's right there. You've not opened the gates. So when the bus comes in, everybody who was standing at the back starts pushing people who were in front, and it's raining. There was complete, utter chaos. Now, you've heard this. You know about it real time because there must have been security and was security. Now, when you have seen something like this, why on earth would you not call it off? Call it off. Just call it off. Even if one fan got injured, and here people have died. People have died. The Prime Minister of India has tweeted about it, and it's being spoken about everywhere. People are dead, and yet the celebrations went on. Whose great idea was to have the celebrations continue at the Chinnaswamy? At what cost? And you know what? In India, unfortunately, our political class, and by the way, I'm not blaming any one political party here. No one. I'm not a political person. But my question is, the politicians, have you done anything for grassroots sports? No. No. Have you done anything to promote grassroots talent? No. No, you haven't. Because we all know, and I know my sport, I know my Indian sport extremely well. So when the political class has not done anything to support grassroots sport, how is it that when there is a major event like RCB winning the title, that the political class decides to come and be a part of it and be reflected glory and share the glory of the players? Why? What's the point? Why is every event in India made political and thereafter we announce compensations of 10 lakh? You mean to say that's the value of a life? You know, it's been very disturbing because in India, and this is an issue here, we do not value human life. We do not. I read a tweet who said, we have waited for 18 years so we can lose a few lives. Really? Whoever you are, my friend, you're not a fan. And that's my problem. The political class who do absolutely nothing to promote grassroots sport or sport, thereafter become part of an event which is a national scale event, because you have to be part, you have to be seen there with Virat Kohli, with the RCB team. That's the problem. That is a serious, serious problem. I've been to many games at the Chinnaswamy. I've covered multiple cricket matches at the Chinnaswamy. That pavement, 3 people can't stand together. You mean to say you will allow thousands and thousands of people to come there? You mean to say you did not understand that there could be a security hassle? You mean to say nobody understood, nobody knew? My final point here. But before that, before I go into that final point, Gargi Rao did a report. She did a report last night about fans waiting for 3 hours after the celebrations or so-called celebrations got over. The fans were still waiting. That's the passion, and that is what we are exploiting, because for them, for these fans, they have been taken for granted. These fans, their lives, their everything. Imagine a fan who has lost a dear one. Imagine you're lying in hospital injured. Imagine somebody whose only crime, ladies and gentlemen, is he or she is a fan. Here's Gargi's report from last night. You must take a look at these visuals. Listen in to her, what she says, and I will come and conclude this. Take a look.
Today has been a really heavy day, and I have just left the Chinnaswamy Stadium. It is about 9:30, if I'm not wrong, around 9:30 p.m. right now. And it's been difficult to digest what has happened today. The fact that after so many people had lost their lives, the celebration still went on. And forgive me for being so informal about this video, the fact that I'm shooting it like this. But I had to show you guys something that was incredibly jarring. Slippers. This is the aftermath of the Stampede, and this is one of the most difficult things to watch. A child's slipper lying there, and we know that many casualties were also children. This is the aftermath of everything that happened. And it's interesting how after all of that, after fans thronged the stadium and did not have any place to breathe, they did not have room to breathe, they were suffocating, they were collapsing, there were people fainting, and yet fans outside of the Chinnaswamy Stadium are still there. Fans are still here. They are waiting for the team bus. They are not informed about the fact that the bus has left. About a couple of hours ago, right after the celebrations had ended, and it was not a huge 1 hour long celebration or something. It was something that happened very quickly, and right after that there was supposed to be a press conference, which then got cancelled due to security reasons, due to how much crowd that there was outside and the fact that players had to leave safely as well. The press conference got cancelled, so the point of me telling you that is that the players left immediately. Yet, and I will turn the camera around now, these are people who are waiting for the team bus. There have been about 4 or 5 of these people who came up to me and asked me, because I was wearing my ACRED, I had a mic in hand, so they came up to me and asked me, and you can see many of them wearing RCB jerseys, but they came up to me and asked me, "Ma'am, has the team left?" And at first I did not know what to say, because I went up to a few people that were sitting on the footpath and I asked them if they were all right, and they said, "Yeah, we're absolutely fine, we're waiting for the players." And I said, "But the players have left, and it's not like they only left just now, they have left a couple of hours ago. Why are you still here?" And they were like, no, we just wanted to catch a glimpse of the players. And it really makes you think, is idol worshipping in India going too far? Even after all those deaths, even after everything that happened, people still stayed back. Some maybe came later, after the celebration ended. Some of them came later and were sitting there thinking that the players were still inside the stadium and will leave later, much later, when the crowd has dispersed. But that's not the fact. The players had already left. But it's jarring, it's disturbing to think, just a little bit disturbing to think how far things can go when it comes to idol worshipping. I will leave it to that.
Extremely disturbing visuals from Bengaluru. Extremely disturbing. Question for our political class: when will this stop? When will you stop piggybacking on every single event? You want to promote sport, go promote sport. Why are you piggybacking on everything like this? Who on earth gave permission after the police had initially refused permission for a parade like this? Who overruled? How did this happen? Why did this happen? When it actually happened? When it actually happened at this day and age of real-time information, every person knew that a tragedy has happened. Whose great idea was it to continue with the celebrations? This is not about identifying one person and blaming. No, this is about an absolute systemic failure that has resulted in the loss of innocent lives in Bengaluru. And you know what? These innocent people are RCB fans. These innocent people, their only crime is they are cricket fans and RCB fans who had come out to celebrate the team. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a dark day, an absolute dark day, and the IPL could not have gotten off or could not have ended on a sour note or a more bitter note. This is what will remind us what went wrong. Thank you very much for watching, but ask the hard questions. Don't let these lives go under. Each and every life, each and every injury, there are questions to be asked. Questions to be asked of the people who resulted in this tragedy. Thank you very much for watching.